Good morning. Happy Monday, fans and Metropolitans. How we all doing? Well, we won another series. Finally got to play two yesterday against the Phillies, and it was good to have baseball back. Now, unfortunately, we lost the first game. Mad Max didn't have his great stuff. But you know what? He's the ultimate gamer, and he pitched his innings, and he got us to where we wanted to be, where we didn't have to blow out the bullpen. The bats could have been a little bit better. It was chilly and cold. No excuse. Both teams had to play in that weather. But it was kind of polar bear weather, which leads me to the second game. The polar bear, Pete Alonso, came through in a big way yesterday, and that was nice to see. He's emerging as one of the team leaders. I think him and Scherzer are basically 1A as far as like team leaders are concerned. Just their performance on the field and the way they approach the game tells a lot about them and helps lead the way and pave the course for the rest of the Met team. Chris Bassett did well. Then we got our split. So after the 3 games, the Phillies fell yet another game behind us. And we're actually getting for this being the second week in May, we have a comfortable lead in the NL East, but it's a long, long way to go. And we know in baseball, anything can happen. But we're there to talk all about it. We're there to talk about the doubleheader. We'll go more in depth and detail on the podcast, New York Mets Baseball Way of Life. And here is my PSA. If you're not aware of the podcast, it's New York Mets Baseball Way of Life. It's carried by all major carriers. So check it out. Subscribe. We do a podcast every day. So if you are a diehard Met fan, you need to be checking out this podcast, without a doubt. No ifs, ands, or buts. And if you want a good Facebook group that talks serious Met baseball, we have guys who are really dedicated to the New York Mets in that group. And we don't talk smack. We just tell it like it is. We talk intelligently. Check us out. We're New York Mets Baseball Way of Life on Facebook. That's the name of the group. Also on the podcast today, we talk about Robinson Cano. It's finally a done deal. He is officially DFA'd by the Mets. We talk about what the Mets still owe him and what are the options for Robinson Cano at this point. And do you think he'll hook up with another team? Stranger things has happened. Matt Harvey hooked up with the Orioles last year. We also talk about some former Mets. And that's the beautiful thing about the podcast. We dig deep into Met history, not only about the superstars, but guys who have played with the Mets, and we talk about their entire major league career. So you're going to want to check that out. Today we feature Aaron Harang. And you'd be surprised he put up some really good years with the Reds, and you want to check out how good he was with the Reds. And then he basically, at the tail end of his career, he finished up at the end of the 2013 season with the Mets, and we talk about that. And Jerry Buchek, a Cardinal who couldn't really break the Julian Javier stranglehold on second base back in the 60s. So the Mets got him, and he was a starting second baseman for the Mets for a year, and we talk about him. So not only do you learn about the current Mets on our podcast, you get a brief history lesson on some of the great Mets and great moments in Met history. So check that out. And we also highlight what's going on in the group. In the podcast, we have our daily Met trivia question. We always celebrate birthdays. We celebrate all the transactions that happened on that given day. And Met Trivia and Jeopardy, your fan favorites. We are there every day talking about that great stuff. So check us out. We're New York Mets Baseball Way of Life, the podcast, and New York Mets Way of Life, the Facebook group. You'll be glad you did. And there's no game tonight, but that doesn't stop us from putting out content tomorrow. So I'll be here to talk about everything that's good on the podcast tomorrow. So enjoy your Monday. It's finally Sunday. Sunny. It's not Sunday. Sunday was yesterday. Sunday was Mother's Day. And by the way, hope all the mothers had a great Mother's Day. It is Monday, but the sun is out. It's a little bit chilly, but the weather's going to be getting a little bit better, and this weekend series against the Mariners should be a good one. But first, the Mets have to go to D.C. to play the Nationals for 3 games, and we'll be here to preview that and everything that's coming up in Met baseball on New York Mets Baseball, A Way of Life, the podcast. Talk to you soon, guys. And if you need to see the link, It's attached on this video here to get to the podcast. Take care. Enjoy your Monday. Make it a manic Monday, and let's go Mets.